Emma Myers takes on a murder mystery in the new series on Netflix, A Good Girl's Guide to Murder. Now, this first aired on the BBC and is now on the streaming platform. It's a YA-themed series, but does it deliver on the intrigue without drowning in angst? 5 years ago, schoolgirl Andie Bell was murdered by her boyfriend Sal. Case closed. The police know he did it. Everyone in town knows he did it. But smart and single-minded Pip isn't so sure, and she's determined to prove it. And if Sal isn't a murderer and the real killer is still out there, how far will they go to keep Pip from the truth? So this is a fairly short series at only 6 episodes, and it's based on a novel by Holly Jackson. Now, I haven't read the book, but the author had come out at one point and said that the show is almost unrecognizable from her work. So, kind of take that for what it is. We follow high schooler Pip. She lives in a smaller town and has a handful of friends at school. For a project and then uni entrance paper idea, she decides to solve the mystery of the murder and disappearance of a girl that she knew a handful of years ago. Now, I appreciated and I enjoyed the building of the mystery for this. The series starts off by showing us an enigmatic but telling scene that begins the intriguing story arc. And as Pip follows clues, they can become hairy situations. And Myers, she creates Pip to act in a way that shows her careless curiosity while not discounting her cleverness for even figuring out the obscured clues. While the cast is fine, most they're treated like background players, some even just kind of props for scenes. Pip's group of friends do interact with her, but outside of one or two of them, we really have zero clue about their lives and, more importantly, their relationship with Pip. She does enlist the help of one character who we can get to learn probably the most about. It's Ravi, played by Zayn Iqbal. Now, he's nice and caring, but he's also kind of a bump on a log for so much of this. I like him as a character, but he's also a wet blanket in terms of dynamics. And unfortunately, that can kind of be said for the majority of the cast. They're all flat. Even when some might be more boisterous or demonstrative, they still come across as a one-dimensional, lifeless persona. This made it very difficult to engage with the story. When I didn't feel connection between most of who was on screen, it then really became hard to care. And despite the show only being 6 episodes that are each under an hour, I felt as though I was trudging through the narrative, just hoping that the reveal would be worth it. Some of it is obvious, part of it wasn't. So mixed bag there. And because I wasn't able to guess all of it, I do lean more towards the positive in this aspect, despite some utter predictability thanks to lingering camera shots. Now, I know this isn't a full-blown complex adult mystery designed for those above the age of 13, but I have seen some other YA shows that can execute on both the mystique and the angst well. I mean, this didn't do either in a strong way. Like I said, the mystery was decent, and I did enjoy part of it, and thankfully, the angst, it was kept to a bare minimum, but then so was the drama. I mean, each sequence in this, it just felt stunted. As we get towards an action or an arc that could become shocking, twisted, even dangerous, the show veers away, destroying the anxious momentum that it was so carefully building prior. Now, from a technical standpoint, if you watch any British programs, this holds true to the beautiful compositions and the framings that create visually stunning segments, even when it's just a solitary character on screen looking towards the camera. And while I know that typical British productions are shorter in the number of episodes, but then usually longer in each of the runtimes, this one really could have used more time within the storytelling to build out more of the relationships and the interactions, especially where Pip is concerned. She's central to so much of what we see, but she mostly felt at least arm's length away, if not even more. And that distance was difficult to engage with, despite her being a charismatic and passionate character. Now, going into this, I wasn't expecting the mystery on the level of Agatha Christie's And Then There Were None, but I was hoping to have an engaging, suspenseful, even semi-complex story with characters that I could have strong feelings about, one way or the other. What we get is an okay puzzle surrounded by ho-hum characters. There was enough here to keep me watching, but only slightly. I would have loved to have gotten a deeper and more convoluted arc that then could be accentuated by dramatic teen relationships and some angsty interactions. Emma Myers works with what the script and direction give her to deliver an inquisitive but standoffish character, driven to find the truth, but she's let down by the production that never quite finds its foothold. There's a tiny bit of sex, no nudity, a lot of profanity, and then some violence, including sexual assault. I give season 1 of A Good Girl's Guide to Murder, that's a mouthful, 2.5 out of 5 couches. And this is an okay series, but it never realizes its potential. So if you've read the novel that this was based on, I'm very curious at what you think about the series. Is it unrecognizable, like the author said? If you haven't read the book, what are some of your favorite mysteries? I mean, they could be shows or movies. Let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this review, please give it a like. Also, don't forget to share and subscribe. I'm Chris. This is Movies and Munchies. Thanks for couching with me.